Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today I'm so excited to be talking to you about autism. April 2nd is World Autism Day, and so I'm going to be talking about some general things about autism and some of the people that have autism and how they relate to different people or how they relate to some of the known conditions. And then we're going to be talking about some questions that several of my clients have sent to me. I'm going to be showing you some oils and some rubs and stuff like that that really help autistic people and hopefully get you a much deeper, better understanding about autism. So today, April 2nd, is World Autism Day. It refers to a broad range of characterized challenges, anywhere from social skills to repetitive behaviors, speech, nonverbal communication. It's one of those in the United States, 1 out of every 54 children is diagnosed with autism. Um, let's see. Um, there are many subtypes or spectrums of autism. It's one of those, some are higher functioning and some are lower functioning, or even into the nonverbal stage. So it's one of those, everybody has their area that they deal with. I want to start out with saying that one of the things that I have always appreciated about autism is what energy these children and adults bring to our planet. Usually they are affected more than anything else by energy, and that's something that I can completely understand because I'm an energetic person, and being a psychic, I deal with energy all the time. That is something that we can't always get away from. Sometimes some people have more negative energy or more positive energy, but it's something every day that we're dealing with about this energy or how things are working or how things are happening for us. So this is a really important issue to understand, that it's all about energy. Some of autistic people deal with kind of some other complications, and it's more like sensory sensitivities or medical issues. All of this streams into really an idea that they are energetic. Anything that they put in or around their system has to be the highest energy it possibly can. Um, when they are dealing with family members or other people, if their energy isn't well, they're going to be affected by that more than anybody else. And that can send them into having um, GI issues or sleep issues, even seizures. It can go into mental health challenges because they're picking up the other person's like anxiety, depression, and attention issues. So it's kind of like all of that just kind of comes together. So let me answer a couple of the questions that have been sent to me, and I'm going to answer them to the best of my ability. Since I'm kind of more talking global, it's a little bit more difficult, but I'm going to answer as many questions as I can and give you all the information I possibly can. So let's see. Um, are children or adults with autism um, on the low functioning autism spectrum telepathic? Actually, all autistic people have telepathic abilities. Um, it's almost, even the ones that are very nonverbal to the ones that are able to communicate clearly, they're all telepathic, and they will usually pick to communicate telepathically because there's less misunderstanding. It's like a more clear, or I'm trying to think, like more clear or more easy way for them to communicate, and there's less likely to have miscommunications or misunderstandings, that sort of thing. So that's one of the things that they love doing, is talking to us telepathically. Are children or adults with low functioning autism spectrum at a higher vibration than their bodies can handle? No, they're not on a higher vibration than their bodies can handle. They're on a higher vibration that their families or the people around them can't handle. These children come in with such a high vibration, and if the people around them have lower vibrations, and that can start out in utero when the mother is pregnant with them. This is something that if the mother has low vibrations, or the father has low vibrations, or the family members around them have really low vibrations, more likely this child is going to have energy that the family can't handle. And so it's kind of like, okay, because y'all can't handle this, I'm going to cover this up. I know it sounds really harsh, but that's what I keep getting from the other side. So let's see. Do autistic children or adults have more guardian angels than other children and adults? Sometimes they can. One of the things I will tell you that I deal with a lot is a lot of times people come to me and will tell me, like, oh, I must have one guardian angel or one angel with me all the time. Well, most of the time, what I see nowadays is I see a lot of people that have, yes, one guardian angel, and they'll have anywhere from 900 to maybe 2,000 other angels with them. People that have autism usually do have a higher number of angels, and it's to help them go through the energy and to deal with the energies that are around them, to assist them as they work through that. Um, let's see. My next question is, why do other adults or children fear being shunned, or kind of like shun someone who has autism? What I understand with this is that usually they are shunned by other people because they just don't get them. It's one of those, if you look at a lot of the brilliant people that have been born in the last 100 or so years, you talk about like Albert Einstein, just a name that popped in my head. One of the things that's really important to understand is not that he didn't have any friends, he didn't have a lot of friends. People that are different usually don't have a lot of friends because they are different. You have to kind of find your group or your niche of people that you really resonate with. And once you do, your energy is going to start to flow and come out easier. It's a really interesting way of dealing with things. But a lot of times, when people around an autistic child or adult, their energy starts to become lower, it's one of those that autistic child will start acting out more. So it's something to be definitely aware of. So my next question is, why are there so many more autistic children and adults now than there is like 20 or 30 years ago? So I get that there is a lot more nowadays than there was, like I said, 20, 30, or 50 years ago. What's important to understand is our planet has called to their energy and asked them to come on board to assist the world. These children come in as light workers. They come in to bring us peace and harmony and how to live in the absolute moment. An autistic child very rarely is thinking about what's about to happen. Even if they're super high functioning, they're very rarely to be thinking about like what's the next step. They're right now in the moment today, what's going on this very moment, not necessarily thinking about what's coming up or what's in the past. They're a right now energy. So that makes their energy very high. It makes it very dominant at times, and even if they're nonverbal, that energy can affect the other people around them. Let's go to the next question. Why are mainstream schools still providing only minimal, limited resources for autistic children? I get with this is these children have this amazing energy, and there is such a wide spectrum on this that it's kind of like one size is never going to fit all with them. What's more important for them, a lot of them, to be in schools is when they start kind of having that medium energy, or kind of not necessarily like super high on the autistic scale or very low on the autistic scale. I guess I'm doing that backwards. It's more interesting that they're around their family members, because that's what's trapped or kept their energy moving in the wrong direction. That's what's most important, is that they're around their family members to help clear up this energy, step forward in their own power, and make arrangements or make changes to this. So let's go to our next question. Why such a large range of low and high functioning? Just what I was talking about. It's the family members or the people that are around you. It could also be with the people that the medical community that you're around. All of that, everybody's energy is at a different level. And some people can be at a very low energy, and that's going to kind of put that child or adult's barriers up higher. Therefore, there going to be less communication, more nonverbal, and more sensitive to energy during that time frame. Next question. Why such a large range of random co-occurring conditions, like digestive disorders? So this is really a very interesting aspect, and like I said, there is a huge range on here, but it's also not necessarily what they're eating, is the food they have the highest vibration. And I think that's one of the reasons why we see more of this in the United States than we do in other countries, because we allow, as a country, we allow more energy, low vibration food to come in, instead of just eating like plain white sugar. No, we have to have substitute sugars, and we've had this for many years in our country, and all that does is degrade our energy and push us lower. And then that, in a child that's already autistic, can bring digestive issues, sensitivity to different things or different environments around them. Let's go to the next question. Why is it so hard for people to understand and accept limitations of high-functioning autistic children? Kind of their little side quote to this is, say they aren't autistic, or sometimes they'll say, oh, they aren't autistic because they're very high functioning, or they're just not trying hard enough. One of the things that is because people like to place people in groups that they can understand. So if they see someone that's really high functioning, they're going to go, oh wait, they belong in this really high functioning group, or someone they can see, oh wow, this one is very nonverbal or very expressive with their energy. They're going to put them in a very low vibration group, and they're going to push them off to the side because they don't understand. It's one of those, we all are energy. Some of us just have a better grasp of energy than others. And when people have lower energy themselves, it's easier for you to put that person into groups so that they can understand what's going on around them. This one is a great one. I love this question. Are autistic people more emotionally fragile? They are on a part of that. So let me go into further detail. So one of the interesting things is they're not necessarily emotional fragile. If you're telling them the truth, they can take whatever you tell them. It's when you lie, or you have deceit, or you're not telling them the whole truth. That's when they're more emotionally fragile, because they can sense that you are not telling them the truth, that you are not dealing with them honestly. That's when they start to have issues. So they aren't emotionally more fragile, they're just more emotionally aware of the energy. So let's go to the next question. Are autistic children or adults a different kind of being? Example, rainbow children, fairies, light workers. Like I said earlier, they are a new subset of a light worker, is what I've been told, and they come in with very high energy. Once they get around someone who has a higher energy, as they do, they will be drawn to that person over and over again. And as they are drawn to that person, it'll almost draw out their personalities. The more they communicate, the more they bring in this energy, the better off they're going to be, and more higher functioning, more communication bound than anything else. This one I get asked quite a lot when I deal with families with autistic children. Is autism a punishment, an accident, or a choice? This is 110%. It's a choice. These children chose this, and their families chose this. Their families are like, bring it on, we can do it. And then a lot of times when they get here and the child is so energetic and so energetic bound that they start showing images, or they'll kind of come in to bring healing to a family. They'll come in to bring light and love to a family, to bring in better energy. And a lot of times when the parents or the family members are around this, they kind of go into shutdown mode instead of talking to them of how this can be worked through, or communication wise, like, yes, I apologize, I said, a little white lie earlier. This is why I needed to do that, and they don't come clean with that energy. The more you deal with an autistic child, the more you need to be in your own truth so they can feel in their truth. Let's see. The next one, are there any fragrances or oils that may help with autism? So it really depends on what you're trying to achieve with the oil or the fragrances. So I have collected a few of the oils. I will tell you that some oils are better for certain children than others. This is just like the rest of the group. This is kind of like everybody else. It depends on what you're working on. So if you are dealing with someone who is very nonverbal, one of the ones I would say is, hold on. These oils are by Young Living. I do a lot of Young Living oils in my business, and so this is what I'm showing you. This one is called Purification. This is a really good one to cleanse not only the parent's energy or the family's energy, but also the child's energy. This is something that you would want to not necessarily put on their body or put so they can smell it. It's one of those, you can put it on a diffuser. It has a really great smell. If you wanted to put it on them, you could put it on their clothing, like up on their shoulders where they wouldn't be able to put that part of that clothing in their mouth, or on their neck so they can smell it. And it's one of those, I do tell you that purification is one that a lot of them really require. The next one is called Peace and Calming. A lot of these oils can not only be used for the autistic child, but these can be used for the family members as well. So Peace and Calm is one that is really a light fragrance, and that you can use very sparingly, but this is a really great oil. Let's see. The last one I have for you is called Release. I will tell you that this one is one that I would use a lot on the parents, and to release any energy before you work with the child. You could mix a few drops of this into a carrier oil and use this several times to put on your clothing or put it on you, so before you go in and work with a child or before you're around them. So one of the other things I get, and I know this is an empty bottle, is holy water. Holy water is water that has had its vibration amped up by prayers being said over it. So this is really important. Is my students know that you can make your own holy water. So I would highly suggest for an autistic child to make your own holy water. And then you could put that in a spray bottle, add a few drops of the other oils or a carrier oil. Make sure you keep them all labeled, of course, and then you can spray them over you or over the child. So holy water is a very important one. One of the other fragrances that I get called to use with autistic children or family members more than anything else is Palo Santo. Palo Santo has an amazing, it's like a sweet wood. This is something that I would burn while the child is doing something, if they were doing homework or they were being read to, something where you want to activate more of the memory side. I would do Palo Santo, and you could light it and burn this. This would also be one that I personally make into a salt tub for the child. And so I would do that for the child, and it really awakens kind of like your root chakras, your basic energy very, very quickly. So let's go to the next question is there any particular frequencies that may help those with autism? There are many frequencies. The lower that person is on the scale, less functioning, more nonverbal, that sort of thing, I would use a more softer, easier tone. I get the number like 529, 524, a very easy tone, and you want to keep it very low. Like I said, they're interested in the sound. Once you find a few music notes or music that they really enjoy, I would, one of those, play that a lot so that they can be around that energy, because music for all of us amp up our energy. If you're higher functioning, I would put more. I would say that most of them usually like Native American music. Some of them even like the drum music, or Native American flute music is something that they seem to be drawn to as well. let's see. So frequencies is very much a personal thing, but I would say kind of keeping the energy in mind. And when you see them light up or really like one type of music or a song or a certain frequency, continue finding music on that same frequency, and that will really help. Do autistic children or adults require salt tubs? Yes, they require salt tubs probably more than anything else because they get caught up in other people's energy really fast. So this is a salt tub that I make. This has different essences of stone oils and different items that I put together. So this is something that I use with autistic children, and it can help alleviate a lot of the stress that they're bringing on, or release the energy that is overwhelming them. So that's something that salt tubs really work for them as well, or even salt soaps really work well. I usually start with the salt soap and then move into the salt tubs at a certain point. The last question I have is, are autistic children or adults require more grounding than others? Yes, they really do. They love to be grounded. That's one of the reasons why Palo Santo is one that they really resonate with, because it's not only part of the tree, it's also part of the roots as well. And so that can make them feel more grounded and easier to work with. So one of the things that you can also do to help someone ground is that you can use stones. Stones are things that we can carry with us in our hands, in our pockets, and keep that energy with us for long, long periods of time. So I picked a few of them out that called my name when I was asking what stones would an autistic person really, really love. So this one is the stone for 2021, and this one's called Christacala. It is a very easy, gentle stone, and it has a very soft energy to it, and it can be very grounding as well. Let's see. This one is a rose quartz. This can be very soft energy, but also emanates a lot of really, really amazing love, and that's one of the things that autistic children really love as well. Let's see. I've got a couple of them. This one is black tourmaline. This is one that they really love and resonate with, of trying to keep their energy in balance and to also keep them grounded as well. Black tourmaline, it also has a very protective essence about it. So this is a great way to keep their energy protected as well. So these are just a few of the stones that I picked out. I really love using stones when I work with someone. I often tell people that stones can create a very healing, amped up energy for all of us, and it's really important to be aware of that with us as well. If you have any questions, comments, anything that I can answer for you, anything about autistic children or adults, please leave a comment below, and I will definitely get to you. I hope you have an amazing day, and know that we'll be talking again soon.